Every journey begins with a new step into the unknown. Every redemption arc starts with picking yourself up off the ground, brushing off the dust, and staring doubt right in the face. Today, we bring you two parallel tales of newcomers looking to prove their mettle, taking on veterans who are trying to show the world they still have what it takes to be at the top of the game. My name is Bull Skunk, alongside Chef Billy, and this is Contenders Trials EMEA Day 1, brought to you by Monkey Bubble Reflash.
Oh boy, and what a fantastic first game we have coming out of the gate for you. Shoes Money Crew versus the second place finisher in Open Division 01 Esports, the Saudi Arabian Kings. And this is going to be a battle between a seasoned veteran org versus the newcomers, somebody that we don't know much about. I had a chance actually to cast them through their journey through the losers finals and through the grand finals in Open Division. Let me tell you what, they are just packed with some talent. But let me tell you what, we got to be watching out for Silence on the Wrecking Ball. We got to watch out for Yazin Jr., aka Goku on the Pharah. The man can absolutely light up the kill feed. The innate instincts of this player right now, absolutely phenomenal. It harkens back to Avoided. Watching Yazin just absolutely own a map single-handedly. We're seeing it again with this player. But on the other hand, you have Shoes Money Crew, and they had a turbulent 2020. They started off really nicely in the beginning. They took second place in week 1 of season 1, and then it kind of went sideways for them. They had some good results. They were bouncing between trials and contenders. It's kind of middle of the road when they got to contenders, but they were always around the top in the trial scene, so they was always able to get themselves back up. Now, they did have a kind of a low spot in the EBC majors where they placed 13th place. So, we were I was kind of shocked seeing that, but I think they were focusing more on the trials and the contenders at that point. But man, the off season has been very kind to Shoes Money Crew. Let me tell you what, right now, the first thing that I want to get out the gate is that Danid has been sighted and found and signed to a team. We thought that he was going to go up with the rest of British Hurricane to London Spitfire. That didn't transpire. And, for reasons unknown, Shoes Money Crew landed one of the best flex DPS in all of Contenders. And now he gets a chance to show his wares here in trials for Shoes Money Crew. He's going to be playing alongside Solar. And we all know him as Sauna from last season. This is his new rebrand. And so, we saw him in the Kanazaka 4v4, absolutely destroying with Finn's swear word. Oh my goodness, the kid can pop off. So, your DPS line right now is going to be beautiful. Bullskunk, take us through the tank line.
Tank line, you've got Alex coming in from Sheercole. I'm really excited about this pickup. The German tank is absolutely going to hold down the front line for him. And then Hades, who's been a mainstay with SMC through at least season 2 of 2020. I'm looking for some good old European brawl coming out of this tank line. I'm expecting them to charge through the front line to be fast and decisive and try to mow over the opposition. As we take a look at the schedule, this is not the only great matchup we have lined up for you today. This is going to be an exciting, explosive start to the 2021 season. But we're going to follow this up with a young and beautiful. Oh, man, I'm excited about this roster. Just you wait. Taking on the #1 seed coming out of Open Division, Marigo. And then a little bit later on, we'll head to the NA region with 2 more exciting matches. Again, similar storyline all day long. It's the veterans versus the newcomers. This is the day of the old guard taking on the young blood. And this is a heck of a way to start off the 2021 Path to Pro season. It all starts here. It all starts with this opening series of matches. But let's focus back in. Let's go back in to SMC versus 01. You mentioned that SMC had a bit of a up and down, right? We're talking about 4th place finish in season 1, 5th and 6th in season 2. But these additions are exciting. Danid is the one that's really standing out to me. Like this is a DPS who lit up the scene and absolutely lit up the kill feed all season long. An amazing pickup taken on the unusual style coming out of O1 Esports. We'll see if they're prepared. O1 Esports is one of those teams. It's hard. It's similar to those shades of avoided we're talking about, where it's hard to prepare for them. I mean, we've seen Ball of Risa come out. We've seen Double Off Tank, where they have their DPS switch over to the tank and start playing Zarya form. So it can be a very difficult team to prepare for. We'll see if SMC is up to the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, this is the chance for O1 Esports to get on the bigger stage now. I mean, you ran through the gauntlet that is open division, that you never know what you're going to get there. They really sharpened their claws there, you know, and took a very seasoned team in Fourth Dimension in the losers semifinals, and absolutely, you know, they went down 2-1. And then they came back on a 3-map tear and ended up beating a team full of veterans in the Contenders trials and Contenders scene, and just made it look easy. They ran out of gas in their grand final, so I mean they had played 9 maps up to that point, so they were on empty in the fuel tank. So I think that, you know, getting a chance to see them now, once they've had a chance to rest, once they've had a chance to prepare, I think that's where we're going to see the difference between these two teams. So I mean, we're getting ready to go in the map right now, and we are starting off this week. For this week, we are all starting on Lijiang Tower for all matches here on this Thursday afternoon and evening, and then a bit of a different setup with the trials formats. After this map, they will have the choice to choose any map type they want. And then as you move through, you will not be able to choose the map types that were chosen before. So, you know, eventually you'll get down to that 5th or that 4th map type. But coming out the gate right now, we're seeing nothing but the same coming out of O1 Esports. It is the Ball Diva coming out. We've got Yubi coming out onto that Tracer, and Goku in the sky already. Watch out for this player right now. Alex is going to have to absolutely take care of Goku in the sky. That's going to be the threat I'm looking for the entire afternoon.
And Choose Money Crew have done their homework. They're bringing Danid on the Sombra because despite being control center, O1 aren't running Brawl. They're running the ball here. They're running the Pharah here. Something you don't typically see, but O1 have made it work time and time again. But like you say, they're on a bigger stage. This is a much higher caliber of opponent. As you can see, Choose Money Crew going in to try to take space, but Goku immediately lighting up the feed. The Pharah specialist, the Pharah master in the sky. So far, Alex has not been able to contest, and Choose is kind of forced off the point. They managed to pick up first control, and they do strike back and take Merba out of the sky. The tether no longer there for Goku, who's forced to try to find the mini, but the mini is hacked. The mini is not available, and Goku is way out of the fight. This is going to allow SMC a little bit of space, but Danid goes down.
Danid goes down, and look at Goku. Already almost has the barrage online. Alex has got to get up in the face of Goku right now, but he's also trying to peel back for Sab and Johnny, who is just getting peppered by Yubi in the background.
And the barrage comes out, taking Hades down. Does eventually fall to Johnny, but Choose now no longer has their main tank. They're not feeling comfortable, but they're going to go ahead and invest that Ant Matrix and the EMP to try to bring this thing back, but the Pulse Bomb had already landed in the back. Sab is gone. Johnny's dead, and despite the ult investment, Choose Money Crew are going to have to give up this point. With that said, Hades isn't going down without a fight, coming in to try to contest, but doesn't last long.
It doesn't last long, even though magical hack does come through onto Silence. You've got Mines and Self-Destruct right now. So now it's just a matter of flipping the point over and controlling the choke points. Yubi doing a really good job right now, getting the rotations that they need, really harassing Sab and Johnny. You see them just going in there time after time and trying to just pressure down the supports of Choose Money Crew.
Johnny with the sound barrier. I suspect will be used to counter the mines coming out from Silence. Those mines are right over the top. Silence does get manually hacked. Johnny's just going to hold on to it. There it is. Sound barrier coming in at the last possible moment. Great timing, great patience. The stick is there, and Sab goes down. Speaking of patience, Yubi waits out the shields and then drops the bomb, but eats a fire strike in response. As Yab moves, Choose Money Crew moves in and throws down the Shadow. The big charge, taking IMO down. And Choose Money Crew all over this point. Silence does manage to pick up one, but just a consolation prize for the Young Bloods at 0-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's still contested right now as they cross over. No, the flip does come through. So Shoes Money Crew in the chaos does get the flip out. Now, the thing that we see right now is Merba has been taken out. So Goku does not have that tether right now. And these manual hacks onto these health packs coming from Danid right now are absolutely massive. EMP for the next fight. Let's see how Danid chooses to deploy this, probably in response to the barrage.
Bomb out first, lands on Yubi. That's a huge kill to start things off. And Alex is pressuring Goku all the way out as the EMP had come through, and Silence was left on an island by themselves, pounced on and deleted. Shoes Money Crew knew their win condition very well, immediately striking against the Tracer and the Wrecking Ball. Now they're at 96%. Last chance for 0-1 as they come in with the barrage, but it just gets gobbled up. Goku ends up killing themselves. Alex is right there, right where they need to be. Uses the self-destruct, but the full bomb is going to kill the pilot Diva. Shoes Money Crew with the big charge, and Hades is off on their own, in a lot of trouble. Will eventually get taken down, and 0-1 will flip the point with SMC at 99.
Absolutely, and they're going to have mines to stop the aggression coming into this next point. But if you are Shoes Money Crew, you have a couple of really good ultimates coming in here. Most of all, Sound Barrier ready to go to deny the damage coming in from the mines. But Sab is going to have a Coalescence to keep them up as well. That's what I'm looking for into this next fight.
Going through the top, you see Goku on this side, while the rest of 0-1 they're trying to approach from all angles. The Coalescence comes out early and helps to burn down Goku. Great use, and the Sound Barrier invested from both sides. Both support ults coming in from both teams, as a matter of a fact. And it's Shoes who are coming on top. Speed once again getting the better end of the duel with Yubi. And that's just a lot of damage, a lot of death for 0-1 Esports. Shoes Money Crew dismantling the unusual composition of 0-1 and are now in prime position to start off Trials Day 1 with a round 1 victory.
And he took Emo out of mech with holding the self-destruct. That is absolutely just counterproductive, and he's trying to do now. But he will get back in and be able to touch on the point. Both the pharmacy goes down. There's the EMP to take him out. No chance to get the self-destruct off.
And the solo shatter. I mean, Emo was just in all kinds of trouble. What are going to throw everything they can at this, but to no avail. Shoes Money Crew do eventually take it 100-87.
Boy, Emo had 3 opportunities to hit Q there and was just denied. Either it was a hack or a pin or just the ultimate aggression coming all in together. They absolutely singled out the Diva there, who was kind of playing a little bit of escort duty for Goku and Merba. On the pharmacy, so that was a change that they really forced out of 0-1 Esports. Alex was getting a lot of value on this Diva, as we mentioned before. If the Diva's not gobbling up the spam damage coming in and the barrage, you're not doing your job. And boy, did Alex do it there. I really love the swap over from Sab as well, going over to the Moira with that burst healing, absolutely keeping them up through the mid fight.
0-1 Esports sticking with this composition. Expect to see this all series long, and this is a much stronger map for the Wrecking Ball in the far. A lot of more room for Goku to work with, and Silence can come in from a lot of angles, even have the opportunity for some environmentals, but Shoes Money Crew focusing Silence down, forcing them out, lucky to get out alive, and it allows Shoes Money Crew to move in and just get their feet planted on this objective.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to unlock in 2 seconds here. And I mean, already the value of Danid right now, hacking both of the, wow.
2 big kills.
Big kills from Yubi there.
Danid is going to find some revenge, and Emo goes down. Shoes Money Crew evening the odds. 4v4 left on the point, but they're missing a big source of damage. Speed is not in this fight right now. They're relying on Danid to put the hurt down, and Goku is going to take them out of the fight. 0-1 are slowly but surely flipping this point, and a double boom combined with a barrage might just seal the deal. The nail in the coffin on this engagement is the vie for first control will go to 0-1.
And it costed their big ultimate. I mean, let's be honest. It cost them their barrage pretty early. They probably didn't want to expend that in the first fight, but it does get them first control. However, coming up from Shoes Money Crew, you know, they've got just ultimates coming up online that's going to absolutely secure them a point. The EMP is going to be the initiator here.
Yep, 91%, 92% and counting for Danid on that big fight winning ult. Looping around through White Room. Push it on a point, but the ball is going to go into the back, try to focus down Alex. Barrier out from Gara. As the Shatter comes through, picking up both tanks on the other side. Yubi's going to throw in the Pulse Bomb, and it will deny a lot of follow-up. In fact, it finds the primary source of healing and sustain. Johnny is forced to throw down the sound barrier from Shoes to try to keep them in this fight, but Yubi continues to put down the hurt with a mere 14 health.
Yeah, and I mean, Hades doing the better part of Valor there and just getting off the map rather than charging up Goku even more towards another barrage. And I mean, they did not invest the EMP there. So that is the big takeaway from that if you're Shoes. So Danon's going to have the escapability option. I don't know if they're hunting down the translocator or not. But, man, I mean, going in with this right now, they swapped over to the Winston as well. So this is going to get a lot more cleave damage going in there.
Mines inside the small room. And Shoes Money Crew are just going to get the heck right on out of there. As Danon was looking for the EMP, didn't quite like what they found. There it is, dropping it down. It just whiffs it entirely. A very atypical miss for Danon on this Sombra. As Coalescence is invested in, and Shoes struggling to lock down this highly mobile comp. Does finally pick up a kill. But they lose speed along the way. They do manage to respond back, and it's a +1 to Shoes on this point. Place Pulse Bomb onto Hades, but that manages to get Sab as well, so the heals aren't there. Hades is stuck with only Johnny trying to keep him healed up, and now Goku flying in. Barrage at the ready. Hades slowly regaining that health. The barrage does come out, but Alex is all over it. Gobbles it up, big ol' lunch, and Speed is going to finish Goku off. Shoes Money Crew have regained their composure. They're not shook whatsoever, and they're starting to tilt this fight back in their favor, but not a moment too soon. It's 99-0 for 0-1.
And they've still got to get all these exit kills cleaned up here, Bullskunk. So, I mean, you've got both the tank ultimates ready to go.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb ready for Speed as well. You got sound barrier for both sides. The timing on this sound barrier is going to be pretty crucial. If I'm Johnny, once again, I think you've got to save it for these mines, because otherwise Silence is just going to start booping your squishies into the little balls of death. Look at the Sombra. Danon in the back, just waiting.
Yeah,
trying to keep the EP up.
Yeah, he's only 12% off of that, but he goes down, he gets spotted out, and Goku takes him out. That is a huge source of aggression coming in, and Goku now starting to light up, starting to land those direct face rockets.
A big advantage for 0-1, and they just need one more fight win. Hades going to pop the sound barrier, or excuse me, the Primal Rage to try to buy time, allow Danon to get back in this fight. Sab is able to burn down Goku with that Coalescence. And that's all those tank ultimates and support ultimates used. But it has net them a kill on Amurba. They're going to get the DMAX self-destruct used from Emo, and Hades goes down. Danon comes back in and is able to pick up the kill onto the Pilot Diva and still has the EMP ready to go. Shoes Money Crew don't have any room to give. As the EMP comes through, only finds Silence, but that's a pretty important hack. They can get the ball out of there, and they do. Now Shoes Money Crew can focus their attention onto the skies and try to clip Goku's wings.
Yeah, I mean, but the res does come up on Silence, so that's bringing your main tank back into the fight, and Goku has Barrage again.
Trying to punish Alex right now, knowing they've got to get this mech out. Oh, and the Barrage right on top. Does get the D-Mech, that's all they're going to find. The Pilot Diva finds some revenge. Gar and company with a lot of help from Silence is able to pick up one, but they lose Morba along the way. That res now off the table, but Sab goes down the supports. Heavily focused from both of these teams in this very chaotic fight, but Shoes are able to find that kill onto Yubi, and that's going to give them the edge they want. They got to stay on the front side of the pillar because there's mines all over the other side. Alex finding themselves on the wrong side of the tracks and is very low with Sab out of the fight, but Danon is able to finally get Silence off the table, and Shoes Money Crew will flip this objective.
Yeah, what a juggle there coming out of Hades as well on the Winston, just putting Emo in the air, not allowing them to get away. The focus fire is there. They flipped the point. They've got the 3 ultimates coming into this next fight to hold the point. What we're looking for is, probably could be a huge self-destruct from Alex, taking out Merba. There's the pharmacy out of the sky.
What a read! And that is going to buy a lot of time. That single self-destruct just put this in final fight territory. Sound barrier coming online for both teams. Danon almost up to another EMP. Gar has got to stay out of this one, and Danon needs to realistically find more than just one hack target with this big ultimate. See if they can find a little bit more value. Early Pulse Pump doesn't quite land, but Hades is able to get that kill on a Yubi, so they will not have a chance to use the pulse bomb of their own. 99-99 as Danit is sitting with the win condition in the pocket. Drops the EMP, and this one does find 3, but it doesn't find Gar. Sound barrier is out. Sav dropping the coalescence to try to help burn down the Valk, and does get the Moth out of the sky. Johnny's able to respond with the late sound barrier, and now Shoes Money Crew are in the driver's seat. Not only that, but Johnny takes down their counterpart, Lucio. Focusing down Emo, trying to get the Diva off the table. Shoes Money Crew has to be very wary of the mines on the point, but they're dancing around it. All the while, they have lost their Moira. Their sustain is out of this fight, but they managed to do enough to maintain control. SMC take map 1 in the 1-0 lead in our opening day of Trials.
Oh boy, and it was touch and go there for a few seconds there for Shoes Money Crew, but the focus fire, they got it when they needed it the most. I think that Danid honestly was a big enabler for them, as we saw, you know, going into that. I mean, the manual hacks on the silence, and then the manual hacks going into Gara as well to deny sound barriers coming out. We saw that happen numerous times. I mean, they were really focusing silence down on that wrecking ball. I think that, you know, they just kind of let Alex and Spee take care of the Pharah in the sky as best they could. And then Danid was just getting those manual hacks. I mean, what, 4 EMPs? I think it was 3 EMPs. In that garden stage alone, the value was there. Even though, you know, you whiffed on one of those EMPs, that 3-man EMP, even though it didn't catch Gara, did enough to disrupt O1 Esports and take them out of their fighting condition. Their win condition was completely blown at that point, and SMC just had to ride out the last amount of a little bit of ultimates that came out from O1 Esports, and they take their 1-0 lead here in our first day of Trials 2021.
I mean, it was a bit of a slow start for Danid. It kind of seemed like they took a minute to get warmed up, and the EMPs got better and better. Fortunately, they got the big one when it counted at the very end. And I mean, these two teams fighting for those 4 precious spots. I mean, we didn't really get a chance to touch on it, but there's only 6 teams in Trials to start off the 2021 season. I mean, they've cut the number in half, and so every one of the teams in Trials will get a chance to face each other, and the top 4 will move on to Contenders. So these teams, every match, oh so important, and those precious top 4 slots up for grabs to make it into Contenders proper. You know, as you mentioned before, the other big change is you have the ability to select from any map type, and it sounds like O1 have chosen Hybrid, and I believe we're going to Kings Row for map number 2.
Oh boy, Brawl could definitely come out here in full force if you are Shoes Money Crew. Do we see the same thing that we've seen coming out of O1 Esports the entirety of their time on camera, at least for me? Do they continue to run the Ball Diva? Because Ball Diva, you know, you can get the value. Goku's going to have some serious work, especially when you get to point 3, should they get that far offensively or defensively. You know, there's some good sight lines on point A, but still, I mean, Daned and Spee really taking a brunt of this and really going into them. Spee kept them honest. I'll tell you that right now. Spee and Daned really kept Goku honest. Yeah, we did see a multi-man barrage come out, but a lot of the value that you see coming out of a barrage, especially what we saw O1 Esports get in their previous rounds in Open Division, you didn't see the same impact. And I think that's because Alex is absolutely zeroed in on, I gotta save my DM for the directs coming in, and then really for that barrage. Once they let loose with it, once they press Q, Alex is swinging the mech around and getting that DM up in Goku's face. We saw it go down to the reduction once, and then we saw you know, basically a denial of almost all the damage on another one. So Alex is doing his job right now on this Diva, right? And I mean, Hades, I love the swap to the Winston. Instead of bringing the Reinhardt out onto Gardens, he decided to swap midway, and that was absolutely the turning point, because then you're getting the tickle damage on everybody and really just burning down health bars with that cleave damage coming out. So the only other thing I would have seen, would have liked to see instead of the Moira, maybe bringing the Ana in that point and juicing up a monkey with a nano boost. That would have been the only other change I would have seen. But man, it was an emphatic win for SMC. O1 Esports have got to be thinking, is it time to have some adaptation going into Kings Row?
Well, SMC and these veteran players, you know, they've dealt with Avoided in the past. They're no strangers to dealing with this style. Alex knows how to deal with a high pressure, very talented Pharah. So they're not caught off guard by this whatsoever. And as we head into Kings Row, we've seen some very unusual looks. Speaking of changes, O1 Esports in the Open Division, they ran Ball Orisa on this map with a Torb and a Pharah, at least on their defense. They've given some very unusual looks. Very atypical of what you would see in the meta, clearly. So I'm very curious to see how they come out the gate, what they're gonna choose to opt with, and with Goku staying in the map, you know we're getting that Pharah Silence sticking with that Wrecking Ball, and Emo is gonna be on the D.
Yep, and I mean, what we saw with that Torbjorn and Orisa comp, I mean, they were trying to protect the turret behind the static shield of Emo's Orisa, but, you know, they're going to stay with their standard here. They're going to stay with what they usually run. The only change here is that Murba is going to go off the Mercy, and now it's going to bring out the Ana, and they had some fantastic anti-nades and wonderfully delivered nano boost in their grand final win over, or in their grand final loss to Marigo. Got a lot of value out of the Granny.
Yeah, Gara and Murba will swap who plays the Mercy depending on what the other hero they're going to run. Speed. That's how you deal with the Pharah right out of the gate. And they deny res. Beautiful play from Alex to push in and just protect the dead body, not allow Goku back in this fight. And that right there, that one beautiful shot might have just bought Shoes Money Crew point A.
Yeah, but I mean, the pursuit here from Alex is just denying them any kind of recontest on the point. You're going to watch for Emo to touch here last second, or silencing Tanda, but Silence is going to go down from a beautifully measured shot from Speed with the Peacekeeper.
And now it just leaves Emo out on an island by themselves. Just the focus of the brunt of Shoes Money Crew attack. And that car's out of the garage with just under 6 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, it's the value of the one singular kill, and then following up the cooldown denial after that. Shoes Money Crew knew exactly what they were going to run coming out the gate, it seems, and they knew exactly what they had to do to stop all that spam damage coming in. So, I mean, Svi, you know, coming close to a Peacekeeper or to a Deadeye. What I'm really looking for here is going to be Daned working up to this EMP into their next fight. I mean, he's on 50% right now. So that's absolutely going to hamper the ground-based heroes from O1 Esports. I don't think you catch the Lucio or the Mercy in that. I don't think you catch Goku in that. But I think you can absolutely catch the Ana and the Ball, and that's going to be your hack targets. That's going to be your priority when you do let loose with the EMP, unless you try to go for an aerial, you know, you throw the translocator in the air and you try to take the pharmacy out of the sky. That would be, like, beautiful. But I think that you go for the guarantee of getting the Ball hacked and taking him out of the fight and losing a serious amount of your mobility going into this next fight through the streets phase.
Yeah, aiming for the pharmacy would certainly be a big gamble. That'd be one of those high-risk, high-reward kind of plays. But I'd have to agree with you. I think you go for the more consistent, try to get the tanks. I mean, if you can get Silence and Emo out, you'll go a long way to winning the ground war, which is what they need to do with this Brawl composition. Obviously, playing this kind of odd ball comp on Kings Row, once again atypical from O1 Esports. They know how to pick apart Brawl. They're used to playing against Reinhardt comps, and their goal is to surround them and pick them apart on the edges and slowly collapse upon them. So if SMC can get those hacks onto the tanks and get them out of the way early, then they're free to just move forward as a death ball and decimate anybody who dares come close.
Yeah, I mean, and what we'll see right now, I mean, Speed getting just lasered down by Silence on the Wrecking Ball here. But, I mean, still, your spawn is absolutely in your favor here. Yubi, though, on the backside, trying to get the value, trying to get the disruption in onto Dandit and company, and dropping pretty low, needs to get that recall out to get the health back up.
And Speed sitting just too far away from the team is exactly what O1's looking for. They see those fringe players away from the pack, vulnerable, and just isolate them and take them down. Coalescence now used, trying to burn down both the Moth and Goku on the Pharah. But Yubi, once again, takes care of Speed. Speed falls early. Barrage comes out. It's going to take care of Hades. Alex is but just a tick of health. Will get demeched. And O1 Esports put the brakes on this cart.
Yeah, but it costs them the nano going into that barrage. So you don't have that going into your next fight. So you're going to get not only the damage boost, but also the damage resistance off the table for O1 Esports. So, I mean, you've got a bevy of ultimates for Shoes Money Crew. It just depends on how you want to go through this. I mean, if you run the EMP Deadeye combo and make sure that you get the Diva into it, you absolutely win this fight.
Money Crew have all the tools in the bank, and the EMP is going to find both Silence and Emo exactly as they needed to. This time, Speed will win the duel against Yubi as well. The tanks are still standing, but they're beaten, they're battered, and Silence, not long for this world. Shoes Money Crew had the tools to push it in, and it looks like they will succeed, and Speed's just going to have a little nap in the back before Hades comes in and finishes off Murba.
Yeah, but what great peel there coming from Alex to make sure that the Sleepy Cowboy didn't get deleted out of the server there. Last minute contest for O1 Esports. Maybe drop the self-destruct and see if you can get anything from it. But I think it's just a little bit too little too late. Alex has an answering self-destruct as well.
They are going to go ahead and contest, drop that self-destruct onto the objective. Shield is there. Coalescence backing up Shoes Money Crew as they just look to keep O1 in check. They're even going to burn Dalgara, who switched off the Mercy, going over to the Lucio, and Murba now picking up the Winged Healer. And second point does come through, despite losing Danid late.
That was a filthy manual hack on the Silence. He thought he was going to be able to get out of there, but nay. The flashbang and manual hack deletes him out, and that's going to be some good early push here. Going in around the corner here on point 3. Still, tank ultimate's ready to go. Here comes the self-destruct in from Alex.
Oh, Goku able to avoid it. Murba not so lucky. Without their tether, the Starfire player just has to play safe and back up, find cover.
Yeah, Barrage is going to be able to try and deny the push coming through here. I mean, we're getting close to finishing up this map here. Shatter is also online. Johnny does have the sound barrier as well.
Shatter comes through, is going to fight Emo. Gara goes down as well. Barrage over the top, and Alex is all over it. Danid finds that kill. No dice from Goku, and Shoes Money Crew are weathering the storm perfectly, matching every move exactly as they need to. They do lose speed on the back end of this. Alex, woo, is able to fly up, avoid the pit of death, and return fire onto Silence. Manual hack onto Emo. They're in a lot of trouble, and O1 are in a lot of trouble. Shoes Money Crew are going to push this cart home with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left in the time bank.
Winning the day out there for Shoes Money Crew. I thought Alex was a goner there. Our producer just went in the background. I thought he was a goner too, but man, wonderful plays, wonderfully measured aggression coming out of Shoes Money Crew as well. Spee just really showing the versatility, bringing out the Cowboy here and getting the kills, using that flashbang to good effect as well. Stunning the people when they need to get there. Danid, the manual hacks that we saw, beautiful. The MP didn't get, all that much, but it got the people that you needed right there by the bookstore. I
found both picks
right now. Yeah, I found both picks. So, I mean, getting the value where he needs it. I'm not sure if you can continue to run the ball into this because we didn't see the same value that we saw them get on Garden. They're small and closed spaces here, and Wrecking Ball wants to be able to kind of roll through and get the disruption and then get out of town. And they're just not having the same amount of success that we saw in their earlier matches. So, Shoes Money Crew definitely dealing with Silence and Goku right now. Alex putting up a hell of a performance right now on this Diva, getting into Goku's face every time they try to get aggressive.
Yeah, running into that brawl. And that Pharah. And that Sombra, excuse me. O1 Esports bringing out the Wrecking Ball and the Sigma. So we'll have a lot more damage to pour into the front line. And a little bit more protection as Yubi's made the swap over to the Ashe.
Indeed, and they also bring out the Baptiste here, so they're definitely looking to use that immortality field when the iron gets too hot for them. Maybe not so much work for Goku in the sky, but look at Danid. Danid's already peppering those manual hacks in onto Goku. This is what we like to see from Hades. Has got to get out of there. He's under a lot of duress right now.
Yeah, it was an interesting rotation from SMC, trying to take the high ground, but when they choose to emerge, they were kind of a little bit scattered, and O1 Esports saw their opportunity, and they were able to punish those members as Silence and Goku just proceed to clean up on point A, and O1 Esports are going to have a pretty healthy time bank.
Yeah, now we see the swap come out from Shoes Money Crew. Speed goes over to the Tracer in response to UB being on this Ashe. The poke damage was absolutely giving them fits. Hades also bringing out the Winston here, so you're going to try to be able to control the space and get that tickle down and be able to get into the back line and cause the disruption back there, just like you're seeing from UB and Goku right now.
Yeah, Hades and Speed immediately taking advantage of those new heroes, dove up top, forced UB back, not allowing them to sit up in safe position. But the big Omnic Butler comes out into the battlefield. Coalescence keeping him alive, but Sab gets taken out of it, but not before finding Gara in the sky. Both teams missing support, and now SMC are missing their tanks. O1 Esports, despite their just continual use of this atypical comp, are finding success in King's Row.
Yep, and I think that going through this next stage of King's Row, wherever Merba decides to put down this amplification matrix, Shoes Money Crew are just going to have to kite back and get out of the line of sight of it and just wait it out, because they don't have nothing but a DM that doesn't last forever and a very flimsy Winston bubble.
Yeah, it's going to be the timing versus that Amp Matrix versus Danid's EMP on the other side. We'll see who strikes first. UB making the swap over the Tracer as the EMP comes through. This one finds 5, including both supports. Nothing there, not even an Immortality Field to try to defend against it. And Shoes Money Crew are going to have an easy time cleaning this one up.
Yep, and I mean that's exactly what they needed just to stop the aggression coming. Goku does get Danid on the flip though. So, I mean, that's going to be a little bit of a reset there for Shoes Money Crew. But Barrage is ready to go for O1 Esports. Danid, can you get into position and get a hack out? Otherwise, Alex is going to have to do his normal good job of getting that defense matrix swung around.
Danid's been playing very defensive. Yeah, we're not seeing super aggressive Sombra play. It's kind of wait and counterpunch. As the call out gets made, okay, Dan's like, nah, I'm not gonna worry about Silence right now. I'm going up and around. All right, he's gonna go ahead and rotate back to try to find Silence. Look for this manual hack, see if they can pick off the ball first, and allow Shoes Money Crew to focus the rest of their attention forward. Silence does get hacked, somehow surviving back there, but I don't think it's gonna be for long. Adaptive shielding comes through, and is still alive as the self-destruct comes in, and the barrage in response. Goku finds 2 with that, including Danid on the Sombra. Primal Rage out from Shoes Money Crew, but it's just going to buy them some time. O1 Esports with a clear lead in this fight. Shoes Money Crew still continuing to invest, though. They throw it on the sound barrier, but it's not enough to keep Hades alive. And I feel like they're investing in a foregone conclusion, Billy.
I think you're right, but I mean, Danid does build up to another EMP. There it is, coming out. It catches 3. Here comes the recontest. Alex is on the point with Spee, not far behind the hacks. Going out, and they take out 2.
Spee and Johnny able to find those tanks. I was worried they weren't going to have the follow-up, but the 2 fast characters show up to the fight just in the nick of time.
I think that taking Gara out on the Mercy allowed them to drop that EMP because the res was not going to be available, and they absolutely took advantage of it, taking both the tanks out, and now into the next fight. I mean, Mines is available, but Danid is on the hunt again.
It's going to hack the Mercy. Mercy is gone. The heal's absent, and Goku is looking quite wounded. Throws the translocator right into the mines. Danid, there were some mines there, buddy. Sorry about that one. As O1 Esports with 0.6 meters to go have managed to find a bevy of kills, and will eventually push this home.
Yeah, it cost them quite a bit, though, to get it out there. I mean, you had to invest the Valkyrie, you had to invest the mines as well. So you're already underneath Shoe Money Crew's time, and Spee swapping over to back to the McCree, probably to try and take care of Merba on this Brigitte. But Pulse and Barrage ready to go.
Obviously looking for that rally coming out as well. Shoes Money Crew don't really have anything in the bank. It's going to be difficult for them to survive this incoming onslaught. But getting Silence out of the way, that's a good start for the defense as they look to build up towards their ultimates. Alex is going to DM that barrage nicely and follows up with the kill. I'm not trying to find Gara to ensure there's no res, and succeeds. able to pick up the other support as well, and despite having no ultimates in the fight, Shoes Money Crew take the dub in that engagement.
Alex, recognizing that Goku was going on a flank to drop that barrage behind them, just swings over and gets into the face of Goku, and they burned him down. So they absolutely recognize, they absolutely know which way they want to go, which way these fights are going to go. Spee has worked up to a very fast Deadeye, probably just going to use it to get the reload if they need it.
And now it Shoes Money Crew, who have a clear ult advantage. The economy swapped in a massive way. Like GameStop stocks. This thing is going up and down, swinging every which way. Shoes Money Crew taking full advantage. They don't even need EMP to win that fight.
They really don't. I mean, and that's a late kill there going into Emo. And, man, it's starting to get pretty dicey here for O1 Esports if they're wanting to finish this map off. Emo coming up close on the self-destruct, but you've got a 5-pack coming from Shoes Money Crew. You can choose your ultimate rotation here. I think that you save the Hades Primal Rage in case they do land said big bomb, just for the contest with the Primal Rage.
We'll see which of the bolts that you use first. I'm expecting the Primal and the EMP do come out, but EMP doesn't get a whole lot, but did it get enough? Remember, does eventually fall. The focus of Shoes Money Crew, while Hades was keeping Goku at bay, but overstays his welcome, overextends a bit, and falls. Shoes Money Crew now backpedaling, and they're going to try to draw O1 Esports into this Deadeye. But, ooh, Gara just sticks their nose out and gets it blasted right off by the Peacekeeper of Spee. Danid does fall. The back and forth continues. This push and pull is very real, but with Murba down, O1 Esports have no more supports left in this fight. They're going to drop the barrage anyway. They find both tanks with that. And then Silence is going to pick up a kill as well. So despite a lack of supports, O1 Esports are able to win that fight.
They are, and now it's just a matter of can they get out and contest. I mean, 10 seconds, get them into overtime. They don't get a chance at an attack.
Yep, Hades coming out on the ball. Ooh, big pulse bomb. Sab had the coalescence ready to go. That would have put it into OT for sure. The ball is able to spin and stay on the point long enough to get that wick of burn in, but the mines will ensure O1 Esports eventually get it home. They pick up 3 points, but they're going to have to hold off SMC for 3 minutes and 14 seconds on point A if they don't want to go down to match point.
Yeah, I mean, they really just rotated their ultimates there very nicely. The mines that came out from Silence there, denying the last amount of contests there from Shoes Money Crew. But man, I mean, they kind of got rolled going through the street space. They had quite a healthy time bank going into point 3. I mean, they were like 6 seconds underneath what Shoes Money Crew final time eventually was. So the stalls that came out were quite delicious coming out of Shoes Money Crew. I think that they held where they could. They invested when they needed to, and when they felt like they had a chance to really stop the aggression coming in from O1 Esports and just stop that time or stop the progress, keep the timer going, waste their time, and it really does pay off for them in the end. And as you said, it's a one-sided attack here. 314 to get 33%, and Shoes Money Crew will go up 2-0 in our series.
Yeah, that stall on the back of point B, Danid with the perfectly timed EMP just before Spee and Johnny show up, and they're able to win that fight on the back of point B. That might have just won him this map. That big pickup of Danid from the legendary 2020 British Hurricanes really showing its worth right now, and they are sticking with this Sombra as they're looking to win their second map in a row.
They're bringing out this, O1 Esports is bringing out this Torbjorn comp that we talked about in the opener. They are absolutely trying to protect this turret in the back to get the damage in onto the Danid, because Danid is now going to have to watch out for the Autobot coming out.
Yeah, they're going to set up everybody around it with the Orisa holding down the fort, but Shoes Money Crew is just going to pounce on that Orisa. That's how you deal with this comp. Get the Orisa off the table, and the linchpin, the anchor of the whole composition is gone, and that's exactly what they do. Not only that, but they take down the hard carry of Goku as well. Shoes Money Crew just dismantled this. They knew their win condition perfectly. They've done their homework. They've taken their test, and they just aced it. And they're also going to take a 2-0 lead, are now on match point here in our very first series of Contenders Trial Day 1.
Yep, and I mean, that was just textbook. Once they recognized that there was a Torbjorn and Orisa on the field, you just rush that down. You get in there with speed, you deal with the immortality field, and then you just clean up from there. And that was absolutely what they did. And quick recognition, quick adaptation. That's beautiful work out of our seasoned veterans from Shoes Money Crew. Skunk, this is turning out to be kind of what we expected going into this match. But I mean, O1 Esports, you know, kudos to them. They are not just rolling over for Shoes Money Crew.
Not at all. Not at all. Definitely some signs of greatness from 0-1. We'll see if they can turn that dial up to 11. It'll be their map pick when we turn on map number 3. We're going to take a short break. We'll see you on the other side. Choose Money Crew up 2-0 over the second place finishers from Open Division 0-1 Esports. The veterans so far have not looked shook by the unusual compositions coming out from 0-1, and right now we're sitting on match point in the first series of our trials in EMEA.
Yeah, and we're heading to Volskaya, and we were talking about this in our break here. What Esports needs to do? You got to make sure that you're taking care of Goku. Goku is your hard carry right now, and I mean, the focus fire that's coming through from Daned and Spee and Alex in combination is too much for the winged Egyptian to bear. I mean, there's not enough mercy heals in the world to keep you up through that focus fire. Right. And I think if you're Goku right now, be a little bit more cagey. Don't telegraph your barrages so much, because Alex is absolutely in your face. As soon as he thinks that you're going to press Q, he's up there with the defense matrix and just completely negating any kind of value out of that barrage. And I mean, that's kind of their win condition. They're trying to go, bomb. Didn't get very much from Emo. Even the swap to the Sigma, it got some value in the beginning, but they just went ahead and went over to the Tracer and just made Emo's life a living hell. Right. Because with the nerf to the shield, obviously, you can't just flip it around and redeploy it whenever you want. So Speed was just absolutely having a field day when they brought the Sigma out. And as soon as they brought the Sigma off the table and brought the Diva back in, there goes the McCree back out there. And so, I mean, Speed is playing chess games with Emo right now and coming out on top. The other factor is Silence is just getting manually hacked every time that he goes in. Danid has he has his choice. Either he's going for the Mercy, the Pharah, or the Ball. There are no other real targets that he's really trying to focus out there. We saw a couple menu hacks going in the Emo, but still, the focus is the Ball and the Mercy right now, and I'm loving the decisions that Danid is making. Got caught out a couple of times with the weird translocator, either the location or throwing it on top of some mines. But still, we got the value that we saw him do on British Hurricane. Now he's bringing it to Shoes Money Crew, and he's absolutely taking over this match.
Yeah, Silence needs to be a little bit more picky, a little bit more careful of those manual hacks coming through, and working to coordinate with Goku and try to lock in their timing on their attacks. But I also agree with the previous point of making sure they're putting the resources into Goku and really support their win condition. Focus out Alex. If they can get the DMAC, then Goku has a field day. If the Diva's no longer on the battlefield, then Goku and really Silence as well are able to find a lot more room to work and run wild and put down the necessary damage for 0-1 to win these fights. So I'm looking for 0-1's attention to really be on Alex and try to get that Diva out of mech first and then initiate those attacks. And again, a little bit more coordination. It's going to be, you're not going to fix everything at a halftime break, but if Silence and Goku can just get a little bit more on the same page, they've got a real chance at taking this map on Volskaya. And Volskaya is a place where Pharah can definitely have some success. A few places to hide, and maybe not the most optimal map, but still a pretty good map for a Pharah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely long sight lines, especially if you're going to be on a defensive side. You can just scout the entire terrain as they try to push through choke. That's where Daned, though, I think is going to have a field day too. Getting behind the line and being able to scout out where the defense is set up, be able to know where Goku is at and get the manual hack onto them. So that's, this is Daned versus Goku here, I believe. That's the matchup that I'm going to be looking at. Alex, of course, is going to be, mitigating the damage coming in from Goku, but I think it's going to be on Daned right now to take care of both Silence and Goku. I think Goku has to be the main focus. I think the rest of the team can deal with the Ball, especially if Speed is going to keep running the McCree. I think that the flashbang and all the damage that comes in once that flashbang comes out, and we saw it numerous times. Once the flashbang or the manual hack came out, the call was made in game, and they absolutely dumped on poor Silence.
It sounds often trying to take these off angles and to try to catch SMC off guard, but so far they're reading it. They're all over it. They've got it downloaded. They're checking their corners. They're checking their angles, checking their flanks. And Silence really hasn't had the same impact that we saw through a lot of the open division matches. There's definitely some fights, where Silence was lighting up the feed and was able to get some work done, but they're going to have to be really careful on their positioning and really picky with their timing. to make sure. I mean, that coordination. I mean, it's really all about that coordination with Goku to make sure they're on the right targets and the resources are there.
You know, how much does this 25% knockback reduction also come to bear in the play of silence right now? Because I mean, players are still getting used to that. I mean, you don't get the same knockback with that grapple and then roll through. So, I mean, yeah, his mind usage has been pretty spot on today. I mean, he used it when they needed to use it, clogged up the chokes where he needed to clog up the chokes, and I mean, got the value that you really want to see. I think that right now it's the Sombra difference. I think that he's not getting the ability to just free roam wherever he wants, because Dana can just hack you out, and then you obviously you're walking around out of rolling ball mode. So. I think right now the Sombra is absolutely giving the Sporeman fits, and I say if you're SMC, you keep pressing the advantage, you keep making these small little adaptations. I mean, Sab on the Moira got great value with the coalescences other than getting booped into one minefield. So the supports right now, Johnny and Sab, I mean, Sab being the wily veteran from Team Holland, you know, back in 2018 playing for the World Cup team. He's been around the scene for a minute, and he knows what to do in those situations. And I mean, he's showing up in class right now. I think the support core gets a definite nod from me, just keeping the teams up through the damage that's coming through from Goku. I mean, Goku is landing some pretty good directs. If Alex is not, you know, the head on the swivel or trying to peel back for the supports.
And that just goes to show you the knowledge and how that veteran presence plays a big part. Because they're able to deal with it. O1 Esports relying a lot on individual skill, and SMC are just outconfident. They know exactly what to do. They know how to play to their strengths, and they're working smart, not hard. They're picking the exact heroes they need to best deal with the opposition, to best deal with O1. And I'm curious if we're going to see any swaps. And yes, looks like, well, you know, we'll see. We'll see if O1 decides to come out with that. I was curious if they may forego the ball in lieu of how effective Danit has been. We have seen the double off tank from them before, but they still have 30 seconds to change their mind. This defense, we're not seeing a whole lot of changes out of the defense. We will see Sab go over to the Baptiste.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think that's in response to maybe Barrage here, especially in the wide open spaces. If you're caught out. Sure. Yeah, I mean, if you're caught out, you know, you can throw the immortality barrier up there and you know, at least try to be able to kite away from the damage to keep you up. Maybe waiting for a sound barrier out of Johnny. So, I mean, positioning is going to be important here. Yeah, here we go. Back to the standard as I expected from them. And I mean, the adaptation, they're going to have to be able to path this right to be able to get on the point.
Yep, O1 Esports coming through with a little bit of the old fastball right now. No changes as Goku immediately getting aggressive, and Silence doing the same, but gets just focused down. And with Silence out of the fight, they have no initiation tool, and Shoes Money Crew are free to just sit back and plink them from afar.
Yep, and I mean, Goku's just obviously going to be building up to the barrage. I'm thinking that Yubi right now has to get on the flank. Oh, Dad wanted that. Wanted that hack there, but better part of Valor got out of there. And now, you know, there's a presence on the line.
Yeah, Goku just eats some shots and spree finish them off with a beautiful shot between the eyes that weren't able to deny res, but you know that's got to get in Goku's head. And Silence once again to take him down. Goku does find some revenge for that kill, and it's a 4v4 on this objective. Emo getting DMAC means there's no more tanks left for O1 Esports, and they're purely relying on this DPS to try to whittle down the defense. But they got DN to work through. They got shields to work through. They do get the barrage in on Alex, who was just a touch early in that aggression, and are now trying to focus down Hades, who's been forced back into the inside of center box. But Shoes Money Crew still hold on as they drop the Deadeye in to try to bring it back. Speed, no luck there. But Sab and Hades are able to pick the pharmacy out of the sky.
They are, and there's the immortality barrier out as well. Great manual hack onto Emo. Emo, can you get burned down from this?
O1 Esports staying tenacious, are finding picks here and there. Hades falls, but once again, Silence just getting taken out of the fight. They don't have Silence for any of these engagements. They just can't seem to find any room to work.
Yep, and I mean, that's the win condition. I mean, they've obviously recognized that, yeah, Goku can get the damage in, but if you stop the initiation before it can ever start, then, you know, there's no follow-up behind it, and they can just keep running back and getting back on the point and being able to contest it. They do get a permanent point of progress, though. So they did get some value out of their troubles, but I mean, Silence just now coming up to mines.
Manual hack on Emo this time, but no real damage through. Mines thrown into the small room. That could be dangerous, as Sav is going to go down. Hades trying to just swing of her glory as the sound barrier comes through. Alex drops the self-destruct as well. But its kills still lighting up for 0-1 as Goku's able to send Johnny off the map before getting taken out. And you see 0-1 just swarming the tanks of SMC. And they will finally get some more progress building on point A.
Yeah, and I mean, but it took them almost 3 minutes to get to this point. They're going to go into point B with 3:30 on the clock, approximately. Yeah, almost 4 minutes going into it. So they do have a couple of initiators here. They've got the self-destruct that could really pop the defenses of Shoes Mini Crew. But Dandit has EMP. Let's see if they can get it out.
Barrage out over the top. Alex denied a lot of it, but not enough to keep Johnny alive. EMP in response at a 2-player deficit. They're going to hack the Mercy and Emo, but Dandit falls. 0-1 with a little bit of a slow start have managed to just roll this thing into point B. Already have 2 ticks of progress, and now SMC are just trying to solve for as long as they can. Shatter comes through, is going to find 3, but there's nobody there to follow up on it. Johnny falls, and 0-1 Esports are just taking each player as they approach the point, one by one. SMC are getting picked apart on point B.
Yeah, this is absolutely a change of fortune, I mean, based upon what we've seen so far today. And now they've got the coordination. They have the opportunities to get onto this point and really just destroy the defensive posturing coming out from Choose Money Group.
Yeah, and yet another barrage in this fight finds both supports, and that's going to seal the deal. 0-1 Esports able to complete their first attack on Volskaya with just under 3 minutes left in the time bank.
Yeah, I mean, that was exactly what 0-1 Esports needed to get themselves back into the series. I mean, with a healthy time bank, Shoes Money Crew are going to have to really assess what they want to do to get into the defenses of 0-1 Esports. Do you continue to run the brawl here? Do you run, maybe a double bubble here even? I mean, you could actually get some value out of that. But, I think that you have to keep the Diva in here. So Monkey Diva could be very, very powerful for them here. Maybe it's time to bust out the Granny. Maybe it's time to bust out the Ane and see if you can get some nano boost going on and some sleeps. Just see a little bit of a different look into 0-1 Esports.
Well, 0-1 Esports aren't making any changes, that's for sure. We're going to get Murba probably on the Baptiste. Perhaps an Ana. We've seen both coming out from Murba, and they love nano boosting Goku. You typically see that nano go out onto the tanks, and D-Murba is going to come out on the Ana. They love throwing that nano onto Goku. They know that Goku can take full advantage, doesn't get flustered. It's going to land those shots, build up those quick barrages. I'm fully expecting to see a big glowing blue far raining down some rockets from above.
Absolutely, and Speed going to come out with the Widow here, maybe out of spawn to see if you can take Goku out early and force that res off the table. And but I mean, you're looking for Speed right again. So I mean, you've got the Speed comp coming out, bringing Johnny on the Lucio, trying to get on top of Silence and Murba in the backline.
Interesting to see Sab on the Moira with the Winston Diva frontline. Winston Diva don't tend to stay together and stay clumped up enough for the Moira to get heals. But, the Moira does offer more escape as the manual hack comes through and the Mercy's immediately picked off. What a huge first pick for Shoes Money Crew as they move on to point A. And they're not trying to get anything fancy here. They're going to sit on the point, wait for them to come in, manually hack Silence on the approach. Speed's going to win their duel in the Tracer War, and that's a quick point A for Shoes Money Crew, winning it on first fight.
Yeah, but there's the last minute touch here maybe coming in from Emo, but I mean, they're going to get demeched and taken out of this fight and just done.
I mean, I think you'd be better off just throwing yourself off the side. I don't think it's worth feeding the ult charge versus the couple of seconds that you bought.
It's so fast, Bull Skunk, that, I mean, they don't have any ultimates online. Just under 6 minutes for them to get to point B. Goku has the barrage to deny the aggression coming in already.
Opening pick on the Mercy was just so huge. 0-1 Esports getting aggressive on the approach. The barrage goes down to the back. It's going to pick up one. Alex was not ready for that one. You see Alex be like, oh no, barrage from above. Oh no, my supports are dead. And Tracer's out of the fight as well. Goku finds 4 in that fight to keep 0-1 Esports alive in this thing.
Yep. make it 5, and Alex does eventually throw themselves off the side there. But looking at coming into this next fight, self-destruct and coalescence for Shoes Money Crew. You have the tools to get onto this point. Yubi got to be looking for either Sab or Johnny in the back line to take that support off the table for Shoes Money Crew.
On the other side, I'm looking at Danid with that EMP. Coalescence coming out first to start things off to initiate this attack, and Merble once again the first to fall. Coalescence is going to burn Goku down. Pharmacy gone. Now you just have ground forces to deal with. As Shoes Money Crew is going to go ahead and invest the Pulse Bomb to get Emo out of mech, but they have the self-destruct there to try to get back in mech. Sab says, nope, you are gone. It's a quick 3 kills. And Shoes Money Crew are looking to smash the time set up. They save that EMP for the back end of the fight. They're going to find 3 with that, including the returning Goku, and Speed not allowing them to build up towards that first barrage. Both tank ultimates still online. Shoes Money Crew have the tools they need to close out this fight, but they were not able to deny the res onto Goku. Goku's going to come back with the barrage in hand, and Alex is not in mech right now as the self-destruct is out. That means the barrage coming through and gonna find Alex once they try to get back in mech, and it's going to be enough for 0-1 to stabilize. Hades even invested the late Primal Rage, but this fight will not go in their favor.
Zuby in the back line. First the takeout of Danid on the Sombra. That stopped Silence having that worrisome headache and migraine that he's been experiencing all day. And they were just able to focus fire down the rest of the members of Shoes Money Crew. That was expensive from them. They invested 4 ultimates into that fight, and Speed just sitting here meditating in the side.
You can use the third person when you're sitting down to keep an eye on things. And also reflect on what you did wrong in that previous fight. Now it's time to go in and make some improvements. Is trying to get the manual hack coalescence invested from Shoes Money Crew, but Guard's going to throw down the sound barrier. Silence did not receive that extra shielding and falls in that small mega room. Trying to push forward. Shoes Money Crew looking to overcome the ult deficits. The manual hack now on Emo, and the Pulse Bomb will take them out of mech. Once again, they do have that self-destruct to get back in, and barrage comes through. This barrage denied, and now the EMP is there. That's a 3-man EMP, including both tanks, including Yubi on the Tracer. Alex is going to follow up with the kill on Goku. There's no more DPS left on the battlefield. No res available either. With 2 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock, these timings are extremely close, and Shoes Money Crew should be able to close it out with that sound barrier.
Last minute touch coming in from Yubi. They have the Pulse Bomb as well out and does not stick anything there. Goku taken out as well. That should be it. Done and dusted from Shoes Money Crew. There is a 19-second difference, Bull Skunk, between the two sides. Shoes Money Crew will come out on the attack first. And, I mean, the attack phase went a little bit better for Shoes Money Crew. I think that they got, unfortunately, a little bit of a snowball thrown in on top of them from 0-1 Esports on their attack phase. So, Shoes Money Crew, I mean, they take first point relatively without any kind of resistance, and we'll see if they can bring that out again. Once again, they're just focusing Merc, but that's the first target that they're looking for in these fights that they're trying to initiate with. They're trying to get that Mercy out so the Goku, A, doesn't have the damage boost, and B, doesn't have the restore there from having the pocket for them. So Alex did get caught out a couple of times, though, Bull Skunk, on the Diva. Goku got a lot more value, and I think that the cavernous style of second point Volskaya really allowed Goku to play with the geometry of the map. And Alex sometimes didn't know where the wily Farah player was at.
Yeah, 0-1 Esports definitely making that adjustment we were talking about at the half. I feel like their attention has been on Alex a lot more to try to make sure the Diva is not there to deny Goku. And 0-1 Esports actually have a slight advantage in this, and that's an important 19 seconds. That can be the difference between those ults coming online or not. As Shoes Money Crew coming out with the same composition, Speed again on that Widowmaker looking for that opening pick.
Yep, and I mean, we're looking at Hades, though, bringing out the Winston this time in lieu of the Reinhardt for first point. I like this. He's going to be able to get that tickle damage going in onto 0-1 and maybe really cordon off Merkba again. Ooh. But no, first pick to Yubi taking Danid out. That is going to be huge. That's going to have to stop them from the aggression coming in.
And it's going to deny, pretty much 30 seconds of opportunity for Danid to build up towards that EMP. You can see the spy check coming through from Emo. Danon's dead. So is Speed now, as Goku is able to land that rocket in. Matter of fact, a pair of kills for Goku. And this is nearly half the time already off the clock, and the rest of the EMC don't even have a chance to retreat.
Oof. I think right now, Bullskunk, I mean, if you're going to keep running the Moira, either you've got to path better, or you've got to be, you know, out of the lion's eye there, because they're absolutely focusing the immobile. Once they see the flash come out, you know, you're just focusing down the Moira player. And I mean, the burst healing is great, but if you're dead, it doesn't really matter.
We're going to get the Goku versus Alec matchup here. Alex has been pretty on top of it all day, but Goku was able to find big value on Shoes Money Crew's first attack with that barrage. We'll see if they can find the room to work, get Alex out of mech first before they press Q.
Yeah, I mean, look at Speed. Speed is trying to build up to this Pulse Bomb, trying to take care of Goku on the high ground. There's the Pulse Bomb out from Yubi, lands nothing. Goku has the only ultimate right now ready to go. Oh, Emo gonna drop in the self-destruct.
And that's going to find Hades, but the pilot form does get taken out. Oh, it also got the D-Max onto Alex. Big play. Goku is now free to drop this barrage in. They don't even need it. No progress on point A for SMC. Oh, what Esports looking to get their first map in Contenders Trials.
All right. I mean, they completely devalued Daned on that map. They were absolutely spy checking. They were making sure that Daned did not have direct line of sight to get the manual hacks in onto them. And I mean, they learned their lesson, I think, between the maps. And very clear win condition set. Now you just got to get a tick, and you get your first map in Contenders Trials. Your first time in Trials as the new team they are. And that would be pretty huge coming out from O1 Esports. That would put them on 1 and 2. Going up against Shoes Money Crew on the 4th map.
I mean, Dana didn't get an EMP off. Dana had 2 minutes, and no EMP came out. That was a beautiful job from O1 Esports to recognize that and shut that down. Well done. The best we've seen them look all day.
Yeah, indeed, they really did look good. And I mean, they're coming out with the same composition again. Sab bringing out the Baptiste, and Speed bringing the Cowboy. That's the changes for Shoes Money Crew. So, I mean, Daned has got to get a better job of getting these hacks off here. I mean, because you're playing for a draw now.
O1 Esports used to being underestimated, used to being the underdogs. They proved all the doubters wrong through Open Division. Can they show us here on Volskaya they've got what it takes to start bringing this thing back, start coming back from the O2 deficit? They just need 33% to make it happen. As they look to surround Shoes Money Crew. Silence going up to the back. Looking for a juicy target. Goku's already on the top left-hand side.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where they basically camped out for their defensive phase as well. But that's a quick kick from Sab, using his assault rifle to take down. There's the res off the board now. So now, I mean, manual hacks have got to come through true here for Daned.
Silence is able to pick up Johnny as well. Runs right into Daned. Unfortunately, they don't get the manual off. There's the manual hack. I was waiting for it. Stuck around a little too long. Silence. And Dan's able to pick up a pair. I think Silence just needed to get the heck out of there. Avoid that Sombra. That fight started off so well for you, and you just threw it away.
D-Mech onto Emo as well. I mean, that's a quick take yourself off the map before any more ult charge is gained. I mean, they've already wasted a minute 19 seconds almost here, and we're coming into a minute left. Yubi, Pulse Bomb is pretty close, but I mean, I'm looking for Daned. He's getting a much better time here with the Sombra. 80% to the EMP. That's going to be the fight winner for Shoes Money Crew going into our last fights.
Good peel from Yubi. The coordination certainly improving from 0-1. They got 45 seconds to pick up 1 tick. Good job focusing on Daned, but we'll get the manual hack onto Silence. Silence this time able to get around the corner, and I think we'll find some safety. As they approach the mines, come smashing in, get the rest of the mines up, drop the mines into the small room. Immortality Field is there, though. As Sab is able to keep the team alive, is going to respond with the Amp Matrix, throw some double healing down onto Hades, and then turn around and make sure that the rest of the team is alive. Speed is able to get a very priority pick onto Yubi. So that's Goku's barrage is going to have to be big here.
Yeah, but I mean, you got EMP and Deadeye ready to go. Speed has to get in line, out of line of sight of this far play right now. 5 seconds, go.
You can see Alex just keeping eyes in the sky. He's going to try to charge forward and get aggressive, but has to peel back to protect the back line. As Shoes Money Crew continue to just bunker up. EMP is out. Goku is caught. Emil is caught. Pagara is not. Sound barrier is there, and they suffer no casualties from that EMP. Johnny is able to drop a sound barrier of their own and find the kill onto Goku, but Speed goes down. 5v5, both teams missing a DPS. Self-destruct takes down the Mercy as well. O1 Esports will not have the res to pull this thing back, and it's looking more and more like a draw. Yubi says no, and is gonna take Hades down. Both teams are looking a little wounded, but Shoes Money Crew are missing their anchor in this fight. It's just a handful of squishies trying to hold down the fort, but Danit is gonna take Emo out of this engagement. Goku returns with the barrage ready to go. You can see him trying to focus down Alex, who's sitting at half health, who's standing in the middle of a minefield, is not going to be able to survive, at least stay in mech, but Goku gets manually hacked. They've got to stay alive to the manual hack if they want to get this barrage off. This barrage could win him the fight. There's nobody to deny the damage. Here comes the barrage through. It picks up one. The recall is there. Speed is out of there. Not affected. Able to turn around and put the kills down onto Merba. Choose Money Crew have managed to weather the storm by the skin of their teeth. They just got to take care of Yubi on this Tracer, and they will hang on. They will not give up the map point. Volskaya is looking to end in a draw. I don't see any ults on the other side that can help pull them back. The sound barrier, I mean, they get that sound barrier up, they might be able to continue this fight, Billy.
Yeah, but Alex has self-destruct, so if they get DMAC, they're going to go ahead and launch that.
Nope.
There it is! Pushes them off the point. No points for 01 Esports. That was absolutely bonkers. Good Lord, the Johnny sound barrier. Yubi had machine pistols trained and had to reload. He got around the corner and dropped the biggest sound barrier of the day, keeping the team up just that little bit. The skin of the teeth sound barrier is what I'm going to call that one. Slippery as a frog, got the job done, and I mean it was just back and forth. I didn't know if FSMC was going to be able to survive that. The sound barrier absolutely kept them up, but taking Goku out of the barrage, that was the moment where I thought it was just sealed at that point. It was all clean up from there, and man, that is a hell of a defense coming out of SMC.
I mean, that one was absolutely skin of their teeth. That is certainly the word for that last fight. I mean, it was both teams doing such a good job of identifying their win condition, which just kept molding as it went on. They get Alex out of mech, but then right as Goku is looking for the barrage, the manual hack comes through. They have to back up. They manage to escape with just a couple of bars of health. And then they return and they drop the barrage down. They're able to get Danon with it, but Speed had recall. Speed was able to recall out in the middle of the barrage and then return fire and kill the Mercy. That was the moment when things looked down, like when it just started to just slip. O1 Esports, they had Hades down. There were no main take standing for Shoes Money Crew, and it just slipped through their fingers, Billy.
I mean, Yubi did land that pulse bomb. It didn't stick to him, but Hades took the brunt of the damage from it and landed on a mine, and he was out. I thought that they were going to turn the fight right then and there.
Sure.
It was so back and forth. Wonderful job from both teams there on Volskaya. Nobody gets a point there. And I mean, map 4 is going to come up here. And boy, I'm very interested to see where we go. We've done assault, we've done control, we've done hybrid.
It's escort time.
It's got to be escort time.
It's escort time. And it will be O1 Esports map pick since they lost the previous map. So with this being a draw, O1 gets to choose the battlefield for stage 4 as well, for map 4 as well.
Right, escort.
I'm anticipating Route 66. That would be my guess. If I had to just throw a guess out there, just boom, top of my head, I'm going with my gut. I'm expecting Route 66.
Yeah.
You've got some room to work with the Pharah, particularly on the first 2 points. We saw them do well on this map through open division. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd honestly have to take a look at the map pool to see if that one is even on. I believe that's an option. It is restricted. I don't think all 5 escort maps or 6 escort maps are available. So if Route 66 is in that map pool, that would be my guess. I don't think you want to go someplace like Watchpoint Gibraltar, where Shoes Money Crew has the ability to take the high ground themselves and really close that gap against Goku.
Right, and I think that also, not just making it a Goku map, but also for Silence. You got lots more room to work with the Wrecking Ball. You can go behind the garage there if you want. You have lots of room to grapple off of and just get in the air and get up to top speed and get the knockback and the roll throughs that we have seen Silence do time and time again. I think this honestly really does play more favorably for Silence than maybe it does for Goku. I mean, Goku's going to do Goku things. We saw Goku drop a barrage in open division in the grand finals on top of the winning head of a McCree and a Brigitte on Route 66. So there was some there was some definite play for Goku to get the value out of the barrage. This plays into both Silence and Goku. I think that if you're SMC, though, I think you keep running the same comp. Maybe you bring an Ash out here if you're feeling your oats.
Assuming that's where we go, yeah.
Assuming. But I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to see what they bring out because I mean, Spee has been putting on a wonderful performance in support of Danid.
Oh, yeah.
Danid, I think Danid had one off map there. We can't, throw the pitchforks and brimstone at him because he didn't have the best performance on the overtime extra innings attack. So it was definitely just one off map for Danid, and he came back in spades on the defense of Bull Sky.
I mean, win or lose, I am keeping my eye on Goku throughout this entire week. I guess 2 weeks. It's going to change to trials as it's kind of spread across the back end of 2 weeks. But Goku is just fun to watch. We saw that big 5K on their defense. I mean, just wonderful work. I mean, win or lose, this is going to be one to. I'm excited to see the development of this Saudi Arabia player. As well. It's not quite what we're expecting, Billy. It's not quite what we were expecting, but another, long-range map indeed. O1 Esports have decided to send us to Rialto for map number 4, and this is going to provide its own little unique set of challenges.
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely play the Pharah defensively or offensively, point A. Spee has flashed the Widow a couple times, though. So, do we see a sniper come out this time? Do you keep running with the with the Tracer and the Sombra? I think so. I think that if you I don't know if you can get the same value from a Widowmaker that you do with the consistent damage of the Tracer, especially getting into where Speed's been getting into. I mean, getting into the back line, really focusing down Merpa, really focusing down Gara as well. So, we'll see. We'll see what they decide to bring out here. I'm expecting Hades to bring out the Reinhardt here, especially point A. I think you're silly not to, because I mean you've got the clean damage, you got the enclosed quarters there. Until you get to courtyard, then you might think about bringing the Winston into the attack. But Alex is going to be in Diva jail. I think for the entirety of trials until they figure out how to deal with Goku, because right now the Pharah is absolutely getting the value that they need. It's just, you can't carry with just that one person, not at this level, not on this big of a stage, because the teams are way more crafty, they're way more wily, they're way more aware of what kind of win condition you're setting for your team. And the adaptation that's come out from Shoes Money Crew all day has been very impressive for me.
I mean, once again, these EU vets, they've played against Yazan and avoided. Like, this is nothing new to them. They've seen this trick before. All right, they've seen this trick before. But back to you talking about Alex being in Diva jail. I mean, that's like minimum security prison, right, Billy? I mean, like, that's cushy. You've got a lot of room. You get a lot of time in the yard. You can kind of go out and play a bit. Like, that's not a terrible jail to be in. Diva's a very well-balanced hero, a fun hero. I'm excited to see her get a lot more playtime and kind of be back in the middle a little bit.
They're going to be coming with the pitchforks and the torches for you, Bull Sky. Saying that Diva is balanced.
Diva is balanced.
She's way more balanced than she used to be.
Oh, yeah, no, she doesn't have a 4-second DM that you can just throw on and off at whim. And once they kind of rein that in and pull back the range a bit, no, I'd say Diva's a very balanced hero, as a matter of fact.
Give her back her 15-meter DM. Give her back her 15-meter DM. Come on.
We're gonna, with that aside, all that aside, we'll have to continue this discussion off stream. We're headed to Rialto. It's time to start map number 4. 01 Esports are still staring down the barrel of an 0-2 deficit. Choose Money Crew on match point. And 01 Esports are going to have to win 3 in a row after that nail-biting tie on Volskaya if they want to open up trials with a W.
Oh, and I mean, more of the same coming out from Shoes Mini Crew here. They're going to have the long-range poke with Spee on the McCree. Same tank line. Sab opting for the Moira here. So, you know, it's just rushing into them. They're going to rush in on the defense, and they're going to try and take out Gara on the Lucio. Got to be first pick. And I mean, Silence, you know, has to be more wily on this Wrecking Ball. Has to avoid the manual hacks coming out from this team.
Yeah, so far, Dan has pretty much had Silence's number all day long, and Alex Goku's as well. We saw Goku get to the flex a little bit as Alex kind of wavered on Volskaya as Goku kind of figured out their patterns. They're taking to the sky to put some early rockets down and force Shoes off the high ground to start off Rialto.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of nice shots there from Spee as well, kind of forcing them off of the rooftops here. There is a early translocation coming out from Dan and getting burned down to half health.
Yeah, just a slow push into courtyard. Shoes Money Crew are ready for this. They're playing that Reinhardt comp. They're just going to back up to the corner. They're going to get that manual hack onto Silence, who's able to get around the corner just enough to find some heals. Yubi is able to take Spee down in the back. This is going to be the go sign for 01. They're going to push in and try to swarm through courtyard. You can see the shots coming in onto Alex. Trying to find the kill on Danit as well does with a nice concussive blast. And 01 Esports do a great job of being exactly where they needed to be to dismantle this defense in the courtyards of Rialto.
Yeah, but I mean, somehow Hades is holding strong inside of the stairwell here. He's going to be burned down here in just a second. Yep, there he goes. Goku getting the final confirmed kill on that. And now the chase is on. Goku picking up 2 in that fight, building up to an early barrage. That is going to stagger them out hard. Oh man, this is going to be
that pretty much just denied. Yeah, that pretty much just denied the recontest. That was a beautiful play and a little bit. No. Oh my, with just less than 2 meters, the recontest does come through, and they're going to force out Sound Barrier at the very least. Deadeye from the back finds Goku! Takes them down. The rest of the team found cover. Goku did not get the memo. Now Yubi going in, trying to take Spee down for the second time, but this time Sab is there, keeping them free topped off, and Spee is giving chase to Yubi all the way through the mini room. Silence was trying to keep pressure on the cart, but just gets burned down. Focused, sent back to spawn.
Yeah, I mean, what a great last-second contest there. They did invest quite a bit into that. The EMP, the Deadeye, and the Sound Barrier there to make sure that they keep the point. You've got the Barrage and the Self-Destruct from Emo, though. So I think you throw the Self-Destruct in, try to really pull them out of their positioning, and then Goku for the backside can drop that Barrage and see what you can get out of it.
Dana did use EMP in that last fight, so that one is off the table. Self-destruct in from Alex, looking for the skies. 5 Merp. What a perfectly placed self-destruct. Merp thought they were safe behind that corner. Now Goku, without their tether, is just sitting low on the high ground. Doesn't want to show their face, lest they suffer the same fate that Yubi did and sent back to spawn.
Yeah, and another thing that, you know, I forgot to mention here is that Silence has a jungle gym here to be able to play with the architecture, with the geometry of this map. You know, they're not having to be so singular and direct in their pathing. I mean, right now, Silence could drop a massive minefield and just absolutely deny all the contest coming from Shoes Money Crew into this next fight.
Yubi was going up and haunting that McCree. Speed just drops down and hides, turns around and puts a shot down on Goku, finish off by Sab. Mines are down from Silence, and the self-destruct is going to take Sab out of the fight. Primary source of healing gone for the defense, and Ama's going to follow it up with the kill onto Johnny as well. Both supports falling at the hands of Amo on this Diva, and it should be enough for 01 to push through. They only needed a couple meters left to go, and Goku's going to find the kill onto Danit as well. Not a whole lot of room for Shoes to work. But they once again are going to force outside barrier. It's the barrage comes down. Barrage is able to find one. The rest got gobbled up. And the Earthshatter came through. I didn't see any targets there. But Hades, all the while, has been holding down the cart. Has not died despite the lack of healing. The Reinhardt has stayed alive, and it's given time for Alex to find the picks. Danit to take down Silence. The manual hack down onto Goku, and they're stuck in a corner. They're going to get killed by Alex, and just blowing my mind here, Billy. I'm in disbelief. Choose Money Crew hold on point A.
With 2.3 meters? Are you kidding me? The shatter from Hades was huge. Goku took 2 out with the barrage. Alex, once again, saving the day with the DM. Getting up into the face of Goku did just enough. I mean, they didn't have the healing coming in, and then the hack. The manual hack, once again, taking Goku out of the sky. Sab burned them down with the coalescence, and they were able to stabilize from that point, Bull Skunk. And so now, full win condition set here. Basically, capture point A, and you take a 3-0 victory here in our first match of the Trials EMEA Day 1.
I mean, we've seen fuller holes before, and O1 Esports are going to have to show us one today. They impressed me on Volskaya. Can they impress again? No changes coming out from the defense. Gara opting for the Lucio in the support lineup. Choose Money Crew showing us similar comp as well. Sap Flash in the Mercy, but it's just going to be to damage boost Speed right out of the gate. And I anticipate Speed will go back over to that Tracer.
Absolutely. I mean,
maybe the McCree.
Same coming out from O1 Esports again, though. And Silence is going to have to really control the space around the first corner here. You're going to have to be looking for that coming out.
Sights trained. Ooh, can't quite land the shot. Speed's going to go back into spawn and does choose the McCree. I thought that could go with the Tracer because on the attack you might have some off angles to work with. But the McCree provides a little bit more frontline presence and ability to shoot up into the sky. As O1 Esports are not wasting any time. They're not going to sit back in courtyard and just wait for you to come to them. They're getting aggressive, and they're attacking this objective. All this damage poured into the cart, and a nice direct to finish off Hades.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Silence needed to do. Silence needed to control this space right over the edge of the bridge here, and just deny the pressure coming in, just the push. I mean, all the speed in the world can't get you past if you're being pile drived in the air and focused down by Goku and by Emo on this Diva. They are working in tandem beautifully right now. And Goku almost has a barrage already just a minute into this fight.
Ooh, Speed just got absolutely punished there in the back while the rest of SMC are trying to push forward, but now they have no DPS at a -2 deficit as the barrage comes in over the top. Alex is able to eat a good deal of that, so not a whole lot of value from that ultimate, but Hades got separated in the meantime while Alex's attention was in the sky, and O1 Esports are able to punish and find that kill.
Yeah, and once again, it's just enabling Goku right now. I mean, got the value that they wanted. Maybe not so much out of that barrage, but it was the pressure that you put in. It was the cooldowns that you forced out that really turned that fight in O1 Esports' favor. And now Goku, building up towards another barrage. You're going to have just a host of ultimates ready to go for O1. Spee, where do you go with the Deadeye?
Could be used onto the pharmacy. We'll see. Right now, trying to focus down Silence, but doesn't quite get the flash fan. It does follow up with a kill on the car, which is huge, because that sound barrier was on the table, and Johnny's been able to catch up. O1 Esports could have used that on tempo. Now they don't even have that option. Now they're down Silence as well. Oh, as the flash headshot comes through. Goku is gone. Choose Money Crew have victory square in their sights.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, Alex, 6% off of the self-destruct as well, so that's going to be a beautiful denier of space as well. EMP bomb could absolutely close this fight out, Bull Skunk.
Mines available on the other side, out onto the objective to start things off. Sound barrier used to help survive that as the Solar Shatter went through and silence is gone. Bomb over the top for the defense to start things, but Speed's able to pick off the pharmacy. The carry gone. Goku just watching from afar, but Data goes down holding the EMP. I'm not even sure Shoes Money Crew is going to need it. They're finding the picks. They're going to push it home, and they're going to complete the pseudo clean sweep over 01 Esports. 3-0 and a 4-map thriller. A beautiful debut from 01. A fun team to watch, but this rebuilt Shoes Money Crew just way too strong for them here today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was the Daned and Spiso. I mean, Daned getting so much value on the Sombra all day. The counters were good there. If I go back and think, how many barrages did Alex actually gobble up? How much damage did he negate with the defense matrix throughout the whole time? Man, Alex, I think I'm going to put Alex as my man of the match.
Alex, I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, Hades did a heck of a job leading the charge as well, between, whether it was on the Reinhardt or on the Winston. The main tank play, it's oh so important. Proud main tank player, and I'm anxious to speak with them. We're going to get Hades in. The Belgian main tank player is joining us for our post-match interview. Hades, welcome. Appreciate you joining us. Congratulations on the win here in day one.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
So 01 Esports kind of showing us some flavors of Avoided back in the day with Yazan on them. How did you prepare for these unusual compositions that you knew you were going up against today?
And I don't think we prepared like that great because we don't think they're like that talented. I think like Avoided was a lot better. So we just like did on the knowledge we had like before. And yeah, we play like one map against like a Farah team ever before, so we didn't do that much.
So we saw Alex. Yes, spicy indeed. We saw Alex really focusing a lot of the attention onto Goku, Hades, and man, what a performance from your off tank coming over from sheer cold. How's the synergy going with your new off tank?
Alex is a little nutter, so I don't know. It is very easy to work with him because he's like very nice and he like always says his ideas very clear. So like it's like easy.
Awesome. Awesome. Is there anybody that you're really looking forward to going up against here throughout the rest of the week, or anybody that you're particularly nervous about facing?
I think New Kings. I think they're like the best team in like trials and contenders at the moment. Yeah, so like I just want to see how good we can perform in official against them. So yeah.
Well, we'll have that match coming up next Thursday, I believe, so I look forward to that one. Hades, any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to do a shout-out to my mother. She's watching, so...
Aww. That's super wholesome. I love it.
She's
congratulations. I'm sorry, what was that?
She's the homie.
She's a homie.
I love it. Well, it's been a real pleasure talking with you. Congratulations again on your victory. Good luck for the rest of the week.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Well, that is going to do it for us here today. Some unfortunate news. The Young and Beautiful Merry-Go match has concluded in a forfeit, favoring Young and Beautiful. So we're not gonna get to see that second match, Billy. I'm afraid.
Sad. I was really looking forward to seeing Ben Dust. I'm kind of a fanboy, not gonna lie, but it was going to be an interesting match because Marigo did do so well in Open Division, and of course, you got the team of veterans coming in from Overwatch League for Young and Beautiful, having that beautiful intro video that everybody's talking about right now. But unfortunately, they did have to forfeit. So unfortunate, but we'll go again soon.
Oh yeah. No, and if you haven't seen it, go check out the Young and Beautiful roster reveal. It is one of the most hyped videos. Like it makes my hair stand on. It is so good. I look forward to seeing them later on this week. But that is gonna do it for day one of EMEA. We will return a little bit later on from some matches from across the pond. We'll have some NA matches coming at you a little bit later as we take a look at our schedule. Revival with a rebuilt roster, taking on Maryville. Maryville able to emerge victorious through Open Division. That's going to be a good one. And then Susano taking on Ardor, the other newcomer to Contenders Trials.
You know, Revival still hasn't they have not released their roster yet. I happen to know what it is, but I can't say what it is. But when it does come out, whoo!
Well, we'll know.
I'm
we'll know
excited.
later on today. We'll know later on today. Well, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Really appreciate you taking the time to enjoy some fantastic Overwatch. Billy, always a pleasure casting with you. Big shout out to our producer, Reef, behind the scenes. And, well, we'll return a little bit later on. Until then, look out for each other in-game and out. And come back later for more Contenders Trials.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.